tell us a little bit about what you did to duplicate, because there's so many people that's their goal, it's to take one office, get it rolling, self-sufficient, move, new office, rolling, self-sufficient, and that's like the fifth level of leadership is developing leaders upon leaders, right?
Yeah.
So what do you feel like attributed to your skill set of being able to duplicate and create such fast offices that were actually functioning?
Well, first I knew I had to lead by example. I had to be the #1 salesman in that office, because people aren't going to follow anybody if they really don't believe that they can do it themselves. So when I went to Portland, that's exactly what I did. I became the #1 salesman, and then I had people that I recruited that would come out and shadow me. I went to Dallas, Texas. I quickly became the #1 salesman. But the other thing that I started doing is, you know, the internet, social media. That time social media wasn't big, by the way, but all of these ways to recruit were powerful. So I started creating events for my recruitment. So I would put out a link to it was called Constant Contact. You probably heard of that, where I'd put out a link on Constant Contact, and I would put it out on Craigslist, and I'd say, come to this hiring event and learn what this new 4G internet is all about. And I would put that link out on ads, usually 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a day, running 2 events a day. And my goal was to get 15 to 30 people in a room. I would do a presentation about the opportunity to come and work for me and what I was doing. And then I would try to hire at least half of those people. And the other thing that I really learned is I tried as much as I could during that presentation at first to talk about how awesome the opportunity was. And then in the second half, really talk about how hard door-to-door is.
Set the expectation.
Set the expectation. And my goal was literally to push out all the pretenders, those guys that weren't very serious. And I wanted those people that were serious, they wanted to give it their full effort to stick with me. And I was okay if I went into a room of, say, 45 and only 5 to 10 decided that they wanted to stay and work with our office. Because then I knew those 5 to 10 were going to be the studs. Those were going to be the guys or the girls that were going to stick with it. And I just continued to do those events, though, every day. I was consistent on my ads that were going out, and I would have an office of, say, 30, 40 people in 2 weeks, in a week, you know, and I was able to do that in Portland and also in Dallas.
Focus on training them and focusing on finding out who's the leadership.
Right. And then the goal was training them, getting them out, getting them selling, and then finding out who's going to be that person that was going to replace me, and start grooming that person early on, and then have that person step into that leadership role, so then I could go to the next city and do the same thing.